You're watching AYV Television.
U-Reporter is currently encouraging Sierra Leoneans to speak out on what is happening in their communities. Well, these concerns and information would be used to update the U-Report. Well, U-Report is an innovative-based, user-centered social monitoring tool based on short sample message services designed to strengthen community-led development. Well, to tell us more about this U-Report, we have with us in the studio Alusine Diamond-Suma, and he is the National Coordinator of U-Report for Restless Development. Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone.
Good morning, Patricia.
It's a pleasure having you, and this sounds like a very interesting innovation. So tell us more about this U-Report and what triggered you coming up with such.
Well, like you said, it's an innovative platform, innovative in a sense because it is making use of existing platform in the mobile network in a special way to engage thousands of young people in a goal to speak about issues that affect them in the community, simply because for quite a long time, development partners have been in development programming and surrounding young people, but the aspect of involvement has been missing in the whole piece. So getting young people to discuss their own issue makes them consultants of their own problems. And also discussing solutions about those young people, if they come up with solutions themselves, meaning they have the enabling environment to solve the problems themselves. So the active involvement, it's a platform that draws them all together in one place, to speak together differently from different communities in the different issues that affect them, and also come up with solutions. So what happens at U-Report, we coordinate these feedbacks and also analyze them and send them to policyholders, those that has to do with influencing policies, and send them to development partners, those that has to do with redefining their strategic directions and operations and donor partners, and also get back to young people saying, young people, hey, you said this about this issue, and this is what all of you have said. So one, it informs, two, it consult them as partners, and also it partner with them, and also it increase their capacity in discussing the issues that affect them countrywide. Okay,
so tell us, how can youth carry out giving out this information or messages?
We're using a mobile-based technology, the SMS system. Once, if you're not a U-Reporter to join, you just text join to 2080, like on my T-shirt. You can just send it, and then you'll be asked a couple of questions like your name or your nickname, just to get you get your own SIG identification in the process, and then you have to tell us what district or province you're coming from, what chiefdom, and also your age bracket, so as to give us a clearer insight of the issues that affect you, because we understand that what affects a young person in the capital here in Freetown might be quite different from what affects a young person who stays at Krubola or stays at Diang Chiefdom. So we want to get this disaggregation so we can best present the issues as they affect them as per communities going forward.
Then what are some of the key aims and objectives of this
whole new innovation?
The whole U-Report. Well, the glorious vision of U-Report is to have it as one of the largest platforms wherein youth can amplify their voices to one policyholders and also development practitioners. U-Report is actually not something new in Sierra Leone. It's been in Sierra Leone for over 2 years now, but it's not been amplified this way, as it were. And also Sierra Leone is not the only country that is doing U-Report programming. U-Report started in 2010. We're back in East Africa. So we've got quite recently, in a week ago, we've got like 27 countries who are now participating in U-Report globally. So it's a new innovation in a special way because of its define, and it gets all of us in one place to discuss issues affecting us, just like you're doing in the media.
So saying it's within other countries, was there a research done to know how it's benefited that country or the impact it created with this information given by youth?
Yeah, there are a lot of research and there are a lot of outcome. U-Report, in its sense, it sounds it's a research based because it's sourcing out information from young people. But it's a non-spot research, and it gives you real-time data analysis on the issue. Just like you're not going to take years to get onto research on the specifications and come out with feedback. We do it in one day. If we say it's a 24-hour basis, we can give you real-time data on that. But in all this country, what I learned from East Africa specifically, I don't want to name a country, it has improved the sense of transparency within young people and also those who are supporting or driving the cause of young people.
You're watching AYV Television.
Welcome back to the program Wake Up Silent on African Young Voices, television and radio, and we're broadcasting live here from our Media Empire studios at Tower Island, Freetown. And you can be part of discussions here by sharing your views or comments on issues being discussed to the official short code 4488 from any official network, and from all other networks to the number 099101333. And we still have in the studios Alusine Diamond-Suma, and he is the national coordinator for EU Reports under the umbrella of Restless Development. And Alusine, we are talking of countries where you've seen these EU reports being materialized.
Yeah, like as I was saying, one, it's boost transparency between state actors and also young people in those countries, and in a special way how, because issues being supported by government parastatals and ministries are being sent to young people, whether it's an issue that's worthwhile then back, and they give the views. And at the end of the implementation, they get back to them, what you think about these and these services rendered by certain sector of the government or development practitioners, and they get back and saying, okay, yes. So it's been seen like a real-time assessment tools that genuinely tells you what your performance looks like and whether what you offer to the people is something beneficial and is something very good and they need it, or it needs to be changed. So at your report, we don't only say what's the problem, because it influences positive. The message that we send out is for positive change. If we ask you this the question like saying, because our recent poll was yesterday was International Day of the Girl. We sent out your report saying, are girls being violence in community? And they said yes. How? And also, how do you think we can solve that? So we're not just asking what the problem is, but also asking them what the solution is. Because at different levels, solution varies because of the dynamics of this or the contextual happenings in those communities and what's available there. So because development since before now has lost the side of the anthropological perspective of how we're viewing the things that happens in the community, because the values versus what we have to offer needs to marry themselves before we can get something better out of all of that. So, and also most youth have seen it as a consultation forum, in a sense that we are part of all of this. And if they are doing this and they are asking at us, it means they valued us so much. So to us at Restless Development, young people are the greatest asset of us. It's not seen as a watchdog tool per se, but it improves the sense of inclusion and the sense of participation and the sense of ownership that I'm part of a process that values me most. So that's the sense. And in most of these countries, we've seen best practice at its real time. And even in Sierra Leone, as I'm speaking to you now, when I checked the database yesterday, we are now 29,500 plus EU reporters in Sierra Leone. And that's exciting to know. But I don't know whether you signed up already. No. You've not signed up. I'm sure you do that at the end of this program. But we'll have to talk that in the program.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me just come in. You give pointers daily to the EU reporters. Is that what you mean, like on issues?
Sure. EU Report have a committee that we call the EU Report Steering Committee, which sits at national level. We've got partners representing different constituencies, in a sense, young people. We've got partners who representing the affairs of children. We've got partners who representing the different sector, health, education, climate change, and as the case may be. Sits in a management platform, and then they identify issues that comes from young people, because they're working in these communities and they're influencing programs and saying, okay, young people have been saying this and this with regards to education, with regards to health, and can we send a pool on that? And say, okay, then we develop questions to psych their minds or to get their feedback. It's not like psyching, get their feedback on the issue, and then we send it. For now, we're sending it randomly, because last Friday we sent out a poll on child marriage because we saw it as an increase in Sierra Leone, and just yesterday we sent a poll on the International Day of the Girl Child globally. So we have not come up with a fixed schedule like saying every week or every 2 weeks we're sending poll, because young people don't like something that bothers them so much. We're kidding about their time.
Okay, the EU Report is serving as a platform for transparency, especially on issues affecting young people and also citizens. But what if a texter or a member of the EU reporter sends a message that attacks, personal attacks instead of issues? How is that addressed? Based on prejudice.
Okay. When we sent messages out, we sent the questions out, and you respond. We value every responder. every you reporter, what they're giving us back, it tells us it's their genuine mind. So, but you report, the decency about you report is not sending out names. If you sign in as a you reporter, there's no who can identify it's Patricia. You can send in a nickname or what I have on my record. I just code the tag you to your name. I don't even see your number. So what you give me, we just categorize the feedback that young people in this part of the country or in the north or in the south said this, or young people within the age of 15 to 25 said this and this and this, not like specific people. And when we get those reports, because your report is never inciting anyone, it's positive. We get back to, if we send the U report, for example, like people to tell us what the views about the AYV TV programs, and they give us the feedback before we get back to the public and say, you reporter says this, we'll come to AYV management. AYV management, we sent this to you reporters, and they said, your programs are excellent, but you need to like improve on this and this and this. So that's how we help to build people. It's not to wreck people down, but it's to give solutions that can help build ourselves and Sierra Leone as a whole.
Okay,
then
what I'm saying, situations
comment.
where prejudice, messages of prejudice, personal attack comes in, how do you address that?
We don't promote that.
Okay.
We don't
Then now, Alusine, yes, from what you mentioned, you will ask them the question and they will respond. Is that the case?
Sure.
But don't you think that might seem, stage managing the process?
Yeah, or limit them.
Well, your report is not, it's not a government platform. Your report, interestingly, is funded by UNICEF. In all the countries it's operating. Restless Development is just a co-chair in the steering committee. And there are other people that we define as civil society sector who are in the platform. I think the only ministry that is there now on board is the Ministry of Youth Affairs, because we're working with the ministry specifically and that sits at the steering committee. So it's not like a whole thing that takes one side. I am working for a non-governmental organization, and I've built a reputation in working for young people over the years. So all of us there are thinking genuinely and openly, because personally it's my constituents, young people. I would not love anyone to compromise my values. So I stand here not to compromise the values of any young person in Sierra Leone.
Then also earlier on, you spoke of the number of followers that's present. What's the number again?
29,500 counting.
Okay, then we talk of a country with about 7 million plus, population. And from what we've heard from what we've been hearing, it seems as if the youthful population of this country is about 65%. Are you sure the innovation is making gains in this particular field?
I'll give you vehemently yes, because you both started way back like 2 years ago. I agree, and the report states 65% are below 35 years. Your report is for people who are 15 years and above. It's quite a new initiative in Sierra Leone, and it's quite a new involving, considering the literacy rate, the ability to use a mobile phone to send SMS.
Indeed.
I know you might come
That
to that
is where
question.
I want to come.
Good.
Talking about making gains.
So that's why we are trying to push back and also get the U Reporter membership drive to get a lot of young people involved. So when we send out a poll, we'll be able to tell whosoever is responsible, saying 10% of Sierra Leonean youth said this, 50% of them said yes. So with that, we can be able to push and influence or guide policies formulation.
All right, coming back to my co-presenter, he spoke about making gains. My concern is, don't you think this might limit participation? Like, what if it involves knowledge, the use of technology, what if someone cannot be able to put a text or sentence that can make sense?
Yeah,
don't you think it limits?
I know it's a number of questions that keeps coming up in every media engagement. One, your report uses a simple technology that's already been existing, the mobile phone, and it's not like an app that you have to use a smartphone before you access your report.
I know, but
so for the ones that can't read,
literacy counts,
and that can't type the wordings on their phone, what we do, we have devised, we've got people in the field who are recently trained, who are facilitating group messaging system. So when once a poll is out, one who's got the ability to read and write, who's enlightened the bit, can get those who can read and write and explain to them in their local language that, hey, you reporters said, is gender-based violence an issue in the community? If all of them said yes, and then they can. So that increases the involvement.
Okay. So tell us, how will this whole innovative impact society, especially Sierra Leone, help to address issues of importance, especially issues dealing with youth?
The essence of every intervention in Sierra Leone, Patricia, is to have a better Sierra Leone. And your report can give us that sense. The topography of Sierra Leone it's so dynamic in a sense, reaching out to other communities that are far away. U-Report can reach there in a minute because where I'm sitting now to every U-Reporter, I'm just 1 second away from them. If I go to my computer and just click my computer and say, hi, U-Reporters, everyone can just say it. How are you, coordinator, in the next 1 minute? So I'm just a second away from them. So that's the innovation, and that's the exciting thing about it. To have a better Sierra Leone, it's about involving, it's about empowerment. Now we see youths are taking the center stage of development. It's interesting in the studio, my hosts are young people, so dynamic, and when I was watching you up there, that's so exciting. So that's what happened in almost all the platforms that we are seeing now, the media landscape. Before now, we're seeing beer-headed guys, big belly people who are just like sitting there, moderators. We see the likes. I'm also in the media trend at some point in my life. So, but now I see young people are taking the center stage. So U-Report is trying to push that and saying, if young people are given the right to participate, the enabling environment to discuss the issues that affect them, then there can be solution as easy as possible. Because if I ask you if gender-based violence is an issue in your community, you said yes, meaning it informs you that it's a problem, and then it begins to make you a kind of a watch piece in the community that can guide gender-based violence from happening in these communities.
Then, Alusine, before we close, community engagement is one that is very much key in this kind of process. Are there plans? Because yes, now this is an opportunity to engage them in both radio and television. But are there plans of reaching
direct
them at
the U-Report project in restless development is a strengthening community engagement and emergence project at the moment. So quite recently we have trained 149 young people from each and every one of the chiefdoms that have been selected by their paramount chiefs and their village development committees. We train them on U-Report and also how to get development partners accountable to what they're doing in the community. Because before now, we've got NGOs coming in community and do what they think they can do for the community without consulting them. So these young people are facilitating the convergence process at different chiefdom level as we speak. And every month, paramount chiefs now are holding development partners accountable with these young people that we've trained as community liaison leads in the chiefdoms. If you go to each chiefdom, just ask for restless development community liaison leads, they're there. They're not only promoting U-Report, but they are promoting this convergence. And also there's an aspect of the project, again, that we look at community action plans. Partners, UNICEF implementing partners are discussing with community to develop their action plan. I mean, identify their priority areas, what they want to do, and how they want to do it. And the restless development comes in with support from UNICEF and fund some of this process. If they say education is an issue, well, our school building is not in good structure, we want to re-roof it again or probably paint it, give it a facelift, and they come to restless. We look at it, the variability and the development gains of it. We go in and fund that in this project.
All right. So, Alusine, finally, people might want to know how to be part of this U-Reporting and be a U-Reporter.
If you want to be a U-Reporter, the short code is 2080. I think that's last thing. You just send JOIN to 2080. And they're just going to ask you what's your name or nickname, and you can say
Formal network,
Africell and Airtel. It's free, and that's the unique part of U-Report. We pay all the bills. You just text 2080 and join, and then you answer the question: your name, your chiefdom, your province, and also your district that you belong, and your year of birth. And then you start participating. It's an exciting process. So take the ladies, not only for young people. If you are not a young person and you believe in the ideologies of the young people, because young people forms a greater constituency in Sierra Leone, and we are the willpower of development, then you can become a U-Reporter. You can be 50 years and above, and you can become a U-Reporter. It's an exciting process.
Thank you very much, Alusine. And we look forward to having updates on this innovation and see if it's really impacting the society. Well, he is Alusine Diamond-Suma. He is the U-Report National Coordinator for Restless Development. Well, he was here talking on a new innovation actually brought up for citizens to be reporting on issues affecting them and affecting society. Well, the program is Wake Up Sierra Leone and Africa Young Voices Television.
You're watching AYV Television.